Good morning, everyone. This Parsha, as we always learn about the Parsha of the week, is the birth of the two boys, the two sons of Yitzchak and Rivka, Yitzchak and Rebekah, Eisav and Yaakov. So something very interesting that we're learning is that Yitzchak loved Eisav, the Torah teaches us, and Rivka loved Yaakov, Jacob. That Rivka loved Yaakov is self-understood. We all know, great fellow, as the Torah itself describes him as a great fellow. Yoshev Alim, learns Torah all day, does only good. She loved him. But then the Torah says that the other boy, Eisav, is loved by Yitzchak. Why would he love his son? He knew he was not such a good boy as the Torah itself describes. At least how was he not able to see the truth into him? Many commentaries, many explanations, many questions, and many answers. Not going to get into all of them, just one insight. And this will learn a very interesting story about Eisav, the son of Yitzchak. How was he able to fool the world and so-called even his father that he's a righteous fellow? And the Torah describes, the Torah says, what was Eisav? Each side a hunter. He was hunting. And this is why it looks like he was loved by his father and by everyone else. We'll learn a phenomenal midrash about that. The midrash says as follows: that when Adam and Eve, after they ate from the tree of knowledge, Yetzer Hara, when they realized that they're naked, God sewed them clothing. That's what the Torah says. And this clothing was like a shelter for them. We learned the Midrash that this garment of Adam went from father to son and so on and so forth, until it came to that famous fellow that we learned about him a few weeks ago, when his name was Nimrod. Nimrod was a king this time, very powerful fellow, unfortunately evil fellow, idol worshipper, as we know the story that he's the one that threw in Abraham into the fire, but let's not get into all that. Nimrod is the one that inherited this garment that God sewed for Adam. We'll learn in the Midrash again that Eisav, the son of Yitzchak, killed Nimrod. That's how powerful he was. As Nimrod was so strong and so powerful, Eisav killed him, and he took away from him this special garment. Tells us the Midrash that Eisav would put on this garment when he would go to the field to hunt. And in this garment there was pictures, paintings, I didn't see it myself, but this is what the Midrash says, of different types of animals, different types of beasts. And when he would dress with this garment and he would go to the hunting, the animals would come to him and so-called beg him that he should hunt them and he should kill them. And people would admire him, such a great fellow, this Eisav, that he doesn't have to run after them, after the animals. They would come to him and they would let themselves get killed by him. And he would explain it, he would say, the reason why is it so, he says, because Eisav is such a great holy fellow. And because he's such a holy fellow, the animals want to be elevated through him. And this is why they come to him and they beg him that he should hunt them and kill him and be eaten by him in order to be elevated. And the world would go around and say, wow, what a great fellow. A fellow, a tzaddik like this, that the animals recognize him as being a great tzaddik, that they want to be hunted by him. As we know many times, said that if somebody's a great tzaddik, the animals will have a great respect towards him, as we have many stories, as the famous story with Daniel the lion, and the lions, as great as you are, if If you're a big tzaddik, the animals respect you. And this is what he showed to everyone, and the animals respect him. When the animals run towards him, instead of hurting him, they're waiting for him to be hunted. And the only way that everybody said and everybody saw is because he's so righteous. And this is how I was able to fool the world. And this is the way I was able to convince everyone he's so great, so much that even his father loved him. And this is what the Torah said, East Side, a hunter. What's to be loved by a hunter? He was loved because the way he was hunting, the animals would go towards him. And this was the power of Eisav. Eisav was a tricker. He was able to trick everyone, to make everyone believe how great he is. And finally, when Yaakov, as we know the story with the blessing, the way Yaakov tricked him, he took his blessings. Yaakov unfolded, he uncovered the real truth of this man, Eisav. Eisav lost the blessings, as we know the story. And there we come for a beautiful insight. When Eisav was asking and crying to his father, I won a blessing too. So we learn that Yitzchak told him, I'm sorry, I gave the blessings already to your brother, to Yaakov. But he tells him, Va'aya ka'asher tarid. This is the words in the Torah. And there's many commentators, everybody trying to explain, what did he tell him? When you will tarid. What does tarid mean? It's really not a common word in the Torah. And when Yitzchak tells him, when this will happen, kasher tarid, then you will be able to receive all the blessings that I gave to Yaakov. So I saw a classic insight. Tarid, the word tarid is 614. What Yitzchak was telling him, I know you Eisav by now. You know very well how to trick people. Because even his father was tricked by him. Looks like a great guy, but he's really not. This is what he tells him. When you are going to trick Jacob, how are you going to trick him? By tarid. Tarid is 614. In other words, you're going to trick him that you're a great guy. That you do not only 613 mitzvot, you do even more. You do 614 mitzvot. You do more than the average. When you're going to trick him and you're going to make him also do more, this is how he's going to fall. As we know that the Yetzer Hara, how does he make a Jew fall? By making him very religious. When he makes him more religious than what he's supposed to be, this is the downfall of a person. And this was Eisav's power. Eisav's power, Eisav is the Yetzer Hara. Eisav is the evil man. That he goes to Yaakov, and this is what he does. Tarid, he tells him he got to do more than what Hashem says. Hashem says do 613 mitzvot, you do 614. That's a downfall. And this is what Yitzchak would tell Eisav. You, Yetzer Hara, Mr. Eisav, when you'll be able to trick him, to make him very religious, this is going to be the downfall of Yaakov, and then you'll get the blessings. And this is a very strong message that we're learning from this sixth parsha. The all power of Eisav, as we learn in Chassidus, Eisav represents the Yetzer Hara. As the Torah says, the Yetzer Hara is one thing always to take us over. And how does it do it, Eisav? His father says, it tricks us. It makes us to do more. It wants us to be even more religious. And by this is the way it makes us fall. And this is the famous stories, as we always know. Sometime to do more, what Torah did not tell you, this could be a downfall. We have to daven to Hashem, that we should be able to serve Hashem properly the way Hashem tells us not to do in different ways. This may be the Yetzer Hara. Let's all learn the lesson from this week's parsha. Let all succeed, and God should help him, Yetzer Hashem, as the bracha we're waiting for, that Valu Mosheim Bar Tzion Lishpot et Eisav, that eventually will come the time that we're going to be able to conquer Eisav, and then Mashiach will come. We're not going to have this Yetzer Hara, we're not going to have these obstacles. We're only going to have Yom Shekulo Tov, and this is Mashiach Tzedkeinu. Be well and have a good Shabbos, all of you.